This is probably the greatest find of my gearhead life. I am gonna rescue this 1970 Dodge Super Bee that has been sitting right here for 36 years. Dudes, I am stoked for this one. See, one of the cool things about being me, and also one of the terrible things about being me, is that people offer me cars for sale all of the time. And usually they don't work out either geographically or financially, or I'm just not into the car. But this time, a follower emailed me and said, I've got a buddy who has a 1970 Dodge Super Bee that has been sitting since the 80s. I ended up talking to the guy on the phone. I got photos, and man, this is as barn find as it gets. It is covered in dust, but it looks like it's in really good shape. It's 383, it's a 4-speed car, comes with a ton of extra parts, and I thought, I've gotta go have a look at this thing, and I am prepared to buy it if it's as cool as I think that it is. My very first car that I bought when I was 15 years old in 1983 was a 1970 Super Bee, and I still have it. In 1994 and 1995, when I was working at Hot Rod Magazine, it became a project car, and I kind of turned it into a race car. It had a 750 horsepower Hemi, and put a roll cage in it, and a fuel cell, and a Dana 60, and a spool, and mini tubbed it, and skinnies on the front. And in the end, it looks really cool, and it was the dream that I had in my head when I was a little kid, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I've always said that my Super Bee is too rowdy to be a street car and too slow to be a race car. It's really heavy. So I did tame it down so that it is much more streetable, but I'm a wimp. I'm scared to drive the thing around LA because I'm worried that somebody is gonna smash into it, and I don't want to pay to have it painted or anything, and I just don't want anything to happen to it. And I know that's lame. I should just use the car instead of letting it rot in the garage, but I don't. And so I've always had in my head, I need another Super Bee. I want one that is kind of stock so that I can relive my teen years and just drive the thing around with sort of a hopped up 440 in it and call it a day. And so maybe that's what this car is. I'm driving my 99 Dodge Ram that just rolled 140,000 miles. My buddy Mason's on his way up there with a truck and a trailer. So if this thing turns cool, I can pick up the car and all of the engines and transmissions and spare parts that come with it. So this is going to be an adventure. I drove 200 miles into the night last night, woke up this morning, met up with Mason, who has the truck and trailer, and then the fuel tank fell out of his dually. Oh, this explains it. It's an aftermarket tank. That's why. It was actually dragging the ground?
Yeah.
The front end?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that. We'll be fine. We can ratchet strap it in. Says, do not weld or torch or drag on ground. Okay, if you can run this up that way.
Sure, do you want to go under my strap or over?
Under, I guess. Look what I got.
Oh, nice.
Oh!
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Well, that'll probably get it, right?
Yeah.
Let me put it up right on the edge so it doesn't puncture.
No, you're lifting the entire truck.
What?
You're jacking the back of the truck up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's coming up.
As high as that one, we'll take it.
Okay. The good news is Mason got this thing for like $38.
Yeah. Only upside.
How does this happen?
It only happens right after I buy the truck. It survives on roadkill, and then I buy it, and it decides to destroy itself.
Sounds like my life.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm pulling the wrong side.
Yeah.
I'm all discombobulated.
ratchet strap.
Okay, my hand is fully trapped in here.
Where?
There, got it. That was genius. Okay, well,
We need a new solution.
it didn't smash anything.
That's good. I can do it.
I'm surprised my hand didn't get destroyed. Okay, so it does need to go.
Towards me a little bit. Right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, the problem is where I hooked these two ratchet straps makes the tank go that way. So I need to find a new spot.
Okay.
So this one needs to be undone if it can without dropping everything.
No, it'll drop everything unless I put this back under. Wow, look how far it fell. I mean, it's like 3 inches.
Oh, jeez.
Ugh. I'm glad that didn't smash my hand.
Me too.
But yeah, my hand was in a space where it was free, but my wrist was trapped.
Oh, okay.
All right, you can see what's happening here is this is an aftermarket fuel tank, and the strap to it back there just broke. And so now we've got all of these ratchet straps holding it in position. We're probably going to throw one more on it for safety, and then we'll be good to go. Fixed. Now we're about 40 miles up the road. The gas tank or diesel tank has remained strapped into Mason's truck, and I'm just about there. A lot of caterpillars. That's a lot of tractors. Bulldozers, actually. They're all tracked. Wow. When I talked to this guy, he told me that I was going to want to spend all day here because he's got tons of stuff. Apparently his family has been farming on this property since just after the turn of the century, or at least into the late 19-teens, and they have so much stuff I can't wait to show you. Like the Studebaker. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's a Ford, but check it. A couple of white 3000 series. These were such cool looking cab over trucks. I love it. Man, they're all stubby too, kind of like Stubby Bob. You know what I find really neat though in agriculture is when people take something and make something else out of it. It's so cool, it reminds me of Dulcich. Look at this thing. So this used to be a Dodge Sweepline truck. It's got a 318 in it. Notice that the hood is pointing that way and the steering wheel is pointing this way. It's been hacked right here and turned into some kind of piece of equipment with a bunch of hydraulics. I have no idea what this does, but I love it because they took a truck and turned it into something else. You can see the Dana 60 under there. You tell me in the comments, did someone actually make it this way? I mean, like a manufactured company, or is it homegrown? Don't know. I also don't know anything about all these tractors and stuff other than they're old and cool, and there's a zillion of them. Mendez Implement Company. Wow, that's cool. The West Coaster electric car. That's an electric car I'd have. I'm inside now. This guy's family has owned this property forever and collected stuff forever. This used to be a museum open to the public. They shut it down during the pandemic and it hasn't opened up since. So not many people have seen this recently. The warehouse is packed with old tractors and cars and stuff. And I gotta look at it. Like this Champion spark plug service machine. We had one similar to this at the Dodge dealership when I worked there in the 80s. You open this up and you stick your spark plug in right there and you sandblast it and you reuse your spark plugs. The one that we had then also had a tester where you could put it in there and watch the actual spark jump the gap. And we would take a condenser out of a points distributor and charge it up with that thing and then throw it at people and they catch it and shock themselves. And it was fantastic and probably worthy of a lawsuit today. So that's neat. Let's look at more stuff. Get a saddle. I never learned about model years of Continentals. I think that's like a 67-ish. That's a 68 Thunderbird. Thunderbird started in 1955 and they were like a cool little two-seater, and immediately they started making them bigger. They were a personal luxury car, combating the Buick Riviera, I guess. And in 1967, they made the bold move of turning them into a four-door. But they did make it kind of swank with the suicide door in the back. Wow, this thing's clean. I don't want a 68 Thunderbird, but it's clean. Look at all the little stuff just sitting around. Look at the old Igloo and the reel-to-reel tape player recorder. This is a 1913 Buick. Not that unusual back in the day to have exposed valve train. You had to go in there and hand lubricate it every time you wanted to run your junk. Too much work. You know, the starter on the Buick is actually acetylene. You make a little explosion and it kicks the thing and starts it. This truck is apparently an Avery from around the turn of the century, you know, 1910, 11, 12, 14, something like that. And you'll notice that the tires are steel and it's got corks in it that you can put in for driving in regular terrain, and then you take the cork out and you have more aggressive tread. Steel. And I always love the old trucks when they're chain drive. That is cool too. Oh, and this one, the guy told me this. I don't actually know this off the top of my head. It's a 1916 Buick truck. I didn't even know Buick made trucks, but there it is. I like the VW better though. This is a 1950 Volkswagen. They imported it from Denmark. You can see it's the old school split window in the back, split oval. And it had semaphores, which are the little flags that stick up like this for turn signals. And unfortunately, someone broke them off and stole them. This is aftermarket, I believe, as is the doohickey on the fender. But this is like the cool year VW, I think. I like the really early stuff. You thought the Champion spark plug cleaning machine was cool? Check that out. Autolite, ignition engineered by ignition engineers. That's fantastic. I have no idea what year this is, but look at the Art Deco on it. That's gotta be 30s, right? Late 30s. That's cool. Remember Volkswagen semaphores? Cable operated. Neat. You might not even know that this is a thing. My guy Jimbo, who sort of owns all this stuff, claims that this is the oldest complete tractor in the United States. It's 1873. It's a steam tractor. Yeah, like a locomotive, like a steam car, but it's a steam tractor. I can't imagine the risk and explosions that guys went through in order to plow their field or do whatever they tractored with way back in 1873. But that's it. And now we get into car stuff, even though there's a zillion more tractors over there. Let's see, we got 57 Plymouth. Over here a 47 Chrysler Town and Country, the convertible with the actual wooden doors and a little bit of the quarter panel. Pretty cool. That's a 57 Cadillac. Back there is a very cool 67 Coronet RT. Way in the back in the dark, there's a Studebaker pickup and some other stuff. 59 El Camino right there. Bentley, I'm not good at years on these. I'm gonna put that into like about 1950, I think it's newer. My father has a 48, and that looks newer. M&M tractor. And this one looks like a 51 Chevy and a Dodge Brothers truck. I like the Holdener Divco delivery van. Divco, Detroit Industrial Vehicle Company. More tractors, but wait, we're getting real close to the prize here. Ta-da! My brand new 1970 Dodge Super Bee. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's dig in. Wow. All right, here it is. I have only ever seen a snapshot of this car, 2 or 3 of them, very sketchy in the dark, but I knew I had to come look at it, basically because of the story. The guy Jimbo, who I bought it from, he told me that he bought it around 1984. I bought my 70 Super Bee in 83, so this is like parallel lives. He painted it. It's originally a B5 blue car. He fogged the thing yellow. It's also black at the bottom, which I'm not sure that I love, but he got it running around 1986, street raced it, high school, that whole program, kind of the same as me. And then in 1989, he pulled his tunnel ram 383 out of it and parked it. So at this point, this car has been sitting here for 36 years. All right, there's no engine in it. Oh, wow. It's got the old school, like, finned aluminum coil on the inner fender well. You can see where it was blue. No power steering, no power brakes, no air. I don't think that the yellow is an original Mopar color. I don't think it's top banana. I'll have to ask the guy. It looks maybe Corvette yellow or something. Wow. Smells really musty in there. It smells really musty in there. But wow, the interior is in good shape. Ooh, there's the 4-speed, the pistol grip rather, the shifter. Oh, there's more cat prints in the back seat, so maybe there's a kitty living in this thing for a while. Maybe there's a dead cat in it. It smells like it. Wow, the dash pad's not cracked. The dash is mint. It's got the tick-tock tack, which is the clock with the tachometer all the way around the outside. It has the good steering wheel. I wish my Bee had that wheel. It's got the original Scat Pack decals in the quarter windows. I think dealers put those on. I had to add them to my Super Bee when I was a teenager. I thought they were super cool. It's a water transfer. The wheels on it are the Magnum 500s. Not my preference. BFG radial TAs. I hope those hold air. Yeah, the very bottom of the car he painted black. That's not awesome. The tail panel trim's in really good shape. A Coronet would have had a tail panel like this, but it didn't have the Super Bee on it. It looks like he went in and repainted this Super Bee with a brush and some model paint at one point. Wow, teenager stuff. Wow, this is good. Total barn find. I think he told me it has a Dana 60 rear end in it. Does it? It does. Wow. So a 383 4-speed car would have come with an 8 3/4 rear end, which is the smaller one. It looks like a Ford 9-inch. It has the dropout center section in the front. This actually has a Dana 60 in it. I haven't crawled under yet to see if it's an original Mopar car Dana 60. You would know that by the 3 bolts that would be on the top side where the pinion is, that would have a pinion snubber bolt to it. It could also be a shortened one out of a truck or something, but I'm guessing it's legit because that stuff was around back in the 80s. It wasn't as big a deal as it is now. Gas tank. No rot in the bottom of the quarters. Lots and lots of mud on the inside of that quarter. And I mean actual mud, not Bondo. Original blue and yellow plates. Last registered 1987. He said he last drove it in 89, but he stopped driving it regularly in 87, so that adds up. He gave me the keys. Let me pop the trunk. Look at the keys that he gave me. They have a little Super B emblem on them, which is neat. Trunk lid's not adjusted very well. All right, you know what? This is going to be, very likely, the first time this is opened in 36 years. And there it is. Little creaky. Wow, he repainted it pretty thoroughly. It's yellow on the underside of the deck lid too. You can see the blue in the wheel wells that he painted black. It's got carpet in it, stinks real bad. It's got the requisite mouse poo everywhere. Ready to check the rust? I'm not going to pull that up just yet, but so far it does not look bad. Man, this thing is good. I'm telling you, it reeks though. It is really, really stinky. Doesn't look like there's any quarter dents in Bondo and stuff. Wow, this is cool. All right, I think this thing is pretty good. I just shot 1 million photos of it because you know, you never get this more than once. 36 years. And I'm gonna break the seal and touch it and clean it up and all that stuff. First of all, I think I'm gonna bring Mason in and pull the hood off of it. You know, there's 2 hoods available on a 70 Super B. This is the power bulge. They also had the one with the 2 individual scoops. Have you seen that?
No.
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
No.
The Ram Charger that had 2 scoops and a thing underneath and everything. I like this better. I think the power bulge is cool. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, we broke the seal. Let's go put it on that box over there.
There's no going back.
Whoop. These hoods are unobtainium.
Were they 70 only?
70 only. Yeah, you want that hood right there? It's probably $2,500 to $3,000.
Wow.
Oh, the grill's broken. Bummer. I did not see that coming. The grill is broken. You know what? I think someone might reproduce these now. Oh, that's a drag. Oh, weird. He took this off and put it back on upside down. This is the option code tag. I'm surprised how many options it has. I wouldn't have expected that. Let's see. Does it actually match this car? Yes, that's a win. This thing's gonna be good. Easy cleanup.
And the black stripe on the bottom isn't because it's rusted out. I didn't have the money to buy the logical stripes when I was in high school.
Right.
That's enough to get it on the trailer. Perfect. But it's holding there for now.
We're gonna find out if it rolls. Ready?
Yeah, ready?
One. Oh, all right. Go ahead, Mason. Nice. The brakes aren't locked up. Let me steer it.
Perfect.
Let me roll this down. How well does the regulator work? Pretty good. See, cars like this are perfect for me because I like messing with the mechanical stuff. I hate dealing with window regulators and just stuff. Ugh, that's goopy and stinks. Oh, steer's easy.
Well, there's no weight in the front.
Nope. Wait. Okay. Wow. Coming back to life. This is too easy. Oh, something just locked up, didn't it?
Well, you just had to say it was too easy.
Are you pushing?
Are you pushing?
Okay.
I'm sliding is what I'm doing.
What got hard?
I'm still good on.
Oh, is it a flat spot on a tire?
It must be. It's rotational.
Yeah. Okay.
Did it stop or you want to?
Keep going. Let me come back here.
Sucker's heavy.
It's just that one hard spot.
Yeah. It sounds like brakes.
Yeah, it does. Seems like one brake shoe's
I think it's the
dragging a
front
little.
left is what it sounds like.
It's rolling good now.
Yeah?
Ah, light of day.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
I always feel a little bit bad. Like, you know what? It was untouched for so long, and now we're making it happen again. It's better than it rotting to death in a warehouse. Man, it does not look rusty. I can't wait to hose it off. Oh, it's got a little inside dent right there. I can make this car great. Should we straighten it out? We just pull the trailer over?
Yeah? Just trying to get it as straight as you can and then.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
That should be pretty good.
Yep. We're gonna go get the hood and put it on this thing and then load it up on the trailer, but I thought it'd be a good time to tell you some Super B history. As you probably know, Plymouth came out with the Roadrunner in 1968, and it was a huge hit, and I think they immediately knew that Dodge needed a companion car. They already had the Coronet RT, but then they took that Coronet platform, stripped it down a little bit more, and offered the Super B beginning in 1968. A Super B would have been loaded with either a 383 or a Hemi. A Coronet RT would have had a 444 barrel. 68 was the very first year, then 69, which is just a little bit different, and that's when they came out with the 446 pack in 69 and a half. Then in 1970, the cars started looking like this. They were really unusual with these hoop bumpers on it, but think what Mopar was doing at the time. For example, look at the difference between a 1969 Dodge Charger and a 1970. They sort of put the one-piece hoop front bumper. It sort of mimicked what would come in the 1971 and 1972 Satellite, but it's an unusual look. In the 80s, a lot of people considered this really ugly. I know, because I owned one in the 80s and I heard it all the time. Man, that car's hideous. Why would you buy that? And so they were kind of cheaper and less desirable than a Roadrunner, and that's why I got mine. Mine was $1,800 in 1983. I didn't ask this guy what he paid for this, but I'm sure that it was something like that or less. Now that brings us through the 1970 Super B. In 1971, it left the Coronet platform and it became a Dodge Charger Super B. And then that was the end. So it was a brief life from 1968 to 1971. And of all of them, I actually dig the 70 most, mostly because I've lived with one for 42 years. And now I'm gonna live with another one. We'll see how it goes. Let me go find Mason and we're gonna throw the hood on it. I hope it latches all good and everything, and then we will throw it on the trailer, and there's even more to show you after that. I think they called these cars Super B because they were a B body. I'm not sure about that, but I think so.
That'd be genius.
Then.
Gotcha.
Okay. You good over there?
Yep.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You have the tool, so you can go first.
There's one.
I'm gonna let you do that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch with you. That way when it gets
Stripped.
yeah, it's you, not me.
To be
Very careful.
super, super careful because
I can already, this corner is already on the fender. It's hitting
it's hitting, so it needs to come
forward.
forward. Okay.
It's hard to tell if it's just the hinge moving, which I think it is.
There, that moved a lot.
That side has more of a gap than this side, but neither's gonna hit at least.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
Wow, that's even a nice fit. That fits way better than my car.
Dang.
Cool. Now it looks like a Super B.
Yeah. One less thing to try and strap down too.
Yes. Rad. Should I sit in it? There's poop. That's mold. Won't hurt me. I just want to make sure I'm not going to bust through the vinyl, but man, it's soft. This is the original upholstery. Ah. Oh yeah. You know, the factory bench seat puts you much higher in the car. This reminds me of like driving around when I was 16 years old. Except now I'm gonna have a 4-speed. There's something really disgusting above the sun visor. And if I were to pull it down right now, it'd all land on my lap. And then I would die of hantavirus. And then Mason would die alone in the house days later. Then the dog. Then they'd find us all in the garage. Go, man, that guy had a cool Super B. Dark humor. I'm gonna steer this way. That's a serious hook.
It is.
It's just kind of hard to believe, you know, I never really get to dig good cars out of filth. It's always junk until now. Well, the car's loaded up. Now we get to go look at some parts. Jimbo said he's getting out of Mopar, and so I can take whatever I need. And there's some stuff here, and there's a stash in the other building as well. So I'm gonna get Mason over here and we'll start judging parts and stacking them up. Wow. This looks like gold. That is probably the original air cleaner off that car. Awesome. I don't want to put that at the bottom. It's got the 383 pie tin. Yep. 383. Magnum. Ooh, the Chrysler TNT. That's genius as well. Perfectly good AVS. Another AVS. Sweet. Mallory dual point. I actually dig the dual point. Don't love the Unilite, but the dual point is good. Don't smash that cap. The radio out of the Super B. That is gold. Put that aside for now. Ooh, here's a good points distributor. This could be the original distributor off of the Super B because it has the electronic retard on it. Vacuum advance, electric retard. I think that was a California thing for those cars. Some Mopar stroke will correct me about that. More points. I love points distributors. That one is locked up solid. No, I can fix that. Probably don't need this oil pan. How hard did you jump that car? This would have been off the Super B. You see, Jimbo had a couple different engines in it that were all painted that color. He wanted to paint the car sublime, and so the engine and the pan and stuff was sublime. Oh man, you got distributors stacked up. Here's another one. Single point. You had a single point in that thing. This is more Mopar points distributors than anybody owns. Front covers. These are handy. I am missing one for my 440 that will probably get built to go in this car. That dust doesn't taste good. What are these? These are Oldsmobile rocket valve covers. You want your Oldsmobile rocket valve covers?
You want me, yeah.
Okay. So you think that's the drive shaft for the B?
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's a big money save. Drive shaft for the Super B with 4-speed. That is good stuff. What are these headers?
Those are off this 74 Ford. Headers for the B around the other building.
Oh yeah, these are off your dad's truck?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they slide apart.
Oh yeah.
You have to go around the frame in one spot.
Those are definitely FE headers. Yep.
Interceptor motor out of a 68 police car. And it has GT.
Mini spool. What this thing is what's called a mini spool. If you've got an open differential, you knock the spider gears out of that thing, shove that in, stick the pin through it, and you have a locked rear end. It's a spool, not a differential. Oh, it's for the Dana. You got it for the Super B. Oh, this is all 4-speed parts.
Yeah, that's right.
Mopar engine oil supplement. That's pretty old. Manifold heat control valve solvent. Ooh, this is good. This is an Edelbrock TM7. Edelbrock had a whole bunch of manifolds called TM. It means tarantula manifold. The TM7 was for a 440 Chrysler. The 6 was for the 383. And that one's been polished. That's actually great vintage stuff right there. I don't want to bang it up in the bottom of the box though. Okay, look at these. This is old. This is probably 50s old, early 60s old. This is a CDP6, meaning Chrysler Dodge. And the thing is, it is for 6 2-barrel carburetors. And look how the intake manifold is connected in the middle with hoses like this. And what that means is you can use this on either a 383 or a 440. The engines have 2 different deck heights, but because you can adjust that, you can use them on either one. That is really cool stuff right there. I am gonna run that on something. That makes me happy. Here, do you need this for the ORC?
Oh yeah, since mine are long gone.
Yeah. Mason needs this for the off-road Challenger that he stole from the company for no money whatsoever.
Yes.
There's a 383 4-barrel badge missing the teats off the back. There's a 383 Magnum badge with the teats on the back. Ooh, the Town and Country. These are fun to have, right? Here's the Carter strip pump that I also had when we were both 15 or whatever. Probably doesn't work anymore. So look at these right here. These are 446 pack connecting rods. For whatever reason, when Chrysler made the 6-pack motors, they decided that they needed a much heavier connecting rod. And they also take a different balancer. And that's what those are, is 6-pack rods. Essentially useless these days unless you are a restoration guy. Look at this. This is a factory iron 446 pack intake manifold. When they came out with the 6-pack in 69.5, they used intakes that were aluminum, and Edelbrock made them in aluminum. This is cast iron. This would be correct for a 70 Super B. Obviously, it didn't come off my new Super B, but I do want to put a 446 pack in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a hernia and throw this in the box. Oh! You want to grab half of that so I don't literally hurt myself?
Yeah. Put the gloves on so I don't damage my broken fingers more.
The rods order up on top too, so you can make your thing with.
Oh, you got 6-pack rods?
Yeah, there's a set of rods up there on the top wired together for it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Not light.
No, it's 100% not light. Any power it added was subtracted by the weight. Or the benefit, the performance benefit was subtracted. There's one. It's not an 18 spline.
Is that not as good?
It would be very unusual if it was. 18 splines were Hemis only.
Ah.
This says 1968. Yeah, I was just looking that it was a June 68 transmission. This is the 833 4-speed transmission out of the Super B. And the clutch is hanging on it in here. Let me, it's all bolted together. Can you drag it out? Yeah, it felt heavy because the clutch and the flywheel are in here. Okay, great. We can make this happen. Throwout bearing, probably not good anymore.
Probably not.
Nah, it doesn't feel great.
I say if you're in there, you may as well replace it.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things, as you know, that you want to put together and then have be wrong.
I failed on that on my 72 Roadrunner. That's a callback right there.
So this is a fuel cell out of an old like Malibu jet boat or speedboat, and he modified it to have a little 70 Challenger flip cap fuel cap. So it's in decent shape, so we're gonna go ahead and pop it off and take it with us. We don't need the whole fuel cell though. It doesn't really go in anything we have. Oh, that went the wrong way.
Lots and lots of parts stacking in the box. Now we're trying to figure out what to do with the engine blocks, and we haven't even begun to show you parts. There's another room over in another building. By the way, see my shirt? Gasoline Forever with the 1970 Super B? I'm bringing them back just for this video, for the Super B. Look at my description. It is shop.davidfreiburger.com, and I'm gonna have the Super B Gasoline Forever shirts available for probably a few weeks after this video comes out. I have to go look in the other building for different parts before I can decide kind of everything I want to bring. But I wanted to tell you about this place. This machine shop has been here since 1904, and it is loaded with vintage equipment. And look up in the rafters, you can see the electric motors that are used with belts to drive all of the equipment. It's really cool. And on this wall right here, there's nothing but old tools and spark plugs and stuff. But look at some of the machinery that they have here. Oh, this is super cool. This is a power hacksaw. And I think he told me this was in the machine shop in 1904 when they started. I don't know, is it really that old? What happens is hydraulically, it moves up and down, and the hacksaw does this to cut stuff. That's really cool. This machine is a circular saw sharpener, so you can sharpen your own blades, but the neat stuff's over here. This one here, I think, is the most mind-blowing piece of equipment that I saw in the shop. It is a piston grinder. It puts the cam shape into a piston skirt. He was telling me that they would cast their own pistons here and machine the grooves in them and cut the cam into them and do everything, all for old tractors and stuff. That's a cool piece of equipment. But just everything here. I mean, regular lathes, there's pin bores for giant connecting rods and everything. That right there is a brake drum lathe. Just look around. Everything in here is amazing. Almost everything here is prior to World War II. And here's the other stash. I have to sort through and decide if there's anything here that I need. Look at all the big block Chrysler cylinder heads. Does anyone actually need an iron stock cylinder head anymore? And do I need like 10 sets of them? Probably not. However, 68 Charger taillights, Coronet taillights, I'll take those. Bell housing, that might be good. Anyway, more digging. Also going to caliper all these blocks and see if there's anything standard bore, and I'll grab anything that's standard bore. There is a 331 Hemi here and a bunch of heads over there, but he said he's keeping that for, I don't know, sentimental reasons, or he's got a truck that they go in or something. So I'm just looking for the big block stuff. The Slant 6, definitely not me. That looks like a 15, so those are good. There's only one. What is this? Ooh, there's glass.
There's more glass right here.
Yeah, that's a whole set of Super B glass.
That is?
Boy, that's really hard to ship without breaking, but the rear windows, kind of worth having.
Look at that shape of the window.
Yeah, it's impossible to get. These are good, new General Mayhem parts. Yeah. The ones in the Mayhem aren't that good. Will you grab them?
Yeah. I think those are pretty nice too.
They're better than what I have, which is cool.
Put these on the tires.
These I think are 68 Coronet.
I had at least a dozen of those cars.
Did you?
I kept those. I don't.
In this room, as bad as I feel about all of this stuff that I would like to save, I just don't have room or reason for it. We are going to take some dish mags and some Charger and Coronet taillight assemblies, and this 440 is standard bore, so we're going to snag that as well. We got to figure out whose truck we're going to put all this stuff in. We're going to load that big box into Mason's and I think shove this stuff in mine, so I'm going to go grab my truck. Perfect. Yeah, if you could ratchet strap that into the corner. Yep. Yep, first block was a 440 standard bore. This is a standard bore 3D3. Awesome. This looks to be a 15x8 slot mag. So that is very cool. I would even use that on the Super B if I can find some 15-inch front ones. You know they're old when they say SEMA approved on them. I don't know what brand these are, but it's a match set, so they're cool. Look at the shape of the rear glass on a Coronet. It's wild because it's actually convex right here. So it has like a dip and a bump. And then going this way, it has a dip and then comes back out. It has so many different shapes to it, it's crazy. All right, we're almost out of here. Man, think of the haul. Not only the Super Bee, 2 440s, a 383, forged cranks, some wild hubcaps, a 6-pack intake manifold, a TM7 intake, some Magnum exhaust manifolds, and a whole bunch of junk that I'll never actually use. Perfect. All right, I think the deal now is probably get out of here, haul all the way home, and you know I gotta get this thing to a coin-op car wash and hose all the dirt off of it. That's gonna be an extremely satisfying moment. Ready, Mason?
Ready.
After almost exactly a 500-mile round trip to go get the Super Bee, it's back in LA, and now comes the fun part. I'm gonna start cleaning it up. Well, this is going to take a good hand scrubbing on top of the pressure washing with the world's weakest pressure washer. Oh yeah, this needs a serious, like Steve Dulcich hot water pressure wash job. Okay, now you can see that I have pressure washed it with a weak pressure washer, but there's still a lot of dirt on there, so we're gonna foam this thing up and scrub it. After pressure washing, there was still a lot of dirt on the car. We started scrubbing on it and it started looking good, so we started comet washing it, and it's brilliant. Look at that. This is so much closer to a good yellow, in my opinion, than the dirty part. I hope you can see on camera, especially over there. It's like so muddy and filthy here and so bright and crisp. Wow. All right, we're gonna comet wash the whole thing now. Yeah, see how dark it is here and how crisp and light it is here? It's amazing. From there to there. Wow, look at the difference from there to there. That's gonna take a lot of scrubbing. I think half of the marketing on car care products is scent. Make it smell like bubble gum, make it smell like coconut. I have not washed a Super Bee like this since I was probably like 25. Mason's age, basically. This changed this from pretty cool bar and fine to, wow, I can actually have this car. When I was 15, like Mason, I would wash my Super Bee every single weekend. I would actually wax my Super Bee every single weekend. That's never happening with this car. We even got most of the dirt out from under there. Man, that whole scrub down completely changed my opinion of this car. When I first got it, it was like, wow, this is a really neat barn find. It's cool, but I have to admit, in my mind, I'm thinking, do I need to paint this thing? Is it really that cool? But then it is now scrubbed up to actually being muscle car color to me. It's a much brighter yellow. I hope you can see that on the video. It's cool. And it's perfect for me because it's presentable, but it is way far from perfect. So you can actually drive the car and beat on it and not worry about it. It's like exactly what I dig. And so all of a sudden, I'm in love with the Super Bee. You know what? I need you to go ahead and support the Super Bee cause with my Gasoline Forever Super Bee t-shirt. It says Gasoline Forever on the front too. You can get them at the link in my description, shop.davidfreiburger.com. Now, I think I'm gonna keep going on this car because I dig it so much now. But what I don't really dig about it is the black on the rocker panel and also here on the valence. And obviously it needs a Bumblebee stripe. It needs cooler wheels and tires. It needs a 446 pack. And if I get to any of that stuff, you will see it on the David Freiburger channel. See you next time.